With the 8th pick in the 2007 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Bobcats select Brandan Wright from the University of North Carolina.
6'10" and rail thin, but second-team All-ACC. Here is another freshman who comes in to the NBA draft. And hey, why not? Just bring all the Carolina people into Charlotte. Michael Jordan is there, of course. You have Sean May, Raymond Felton, and now Brandan Wright, the forward.
But you know, Mike, I don't think that has anything to do with North Carolina or the North Carolina ties. Michael Jordan should have worn a mask when he made this pick, because I think this is a steal here at number 8. I had Brandan Wright ranked as the 4th best overall prospect in this draft. I think he's outstanding. You may have to wait a little while on him because he does have to get stronger. He does have to improve his shooting a bit, but I'll tell you what, I had the same questions about Chris Bosh when he came out that I may have about Brandan Wright, but he's an extraordinary athlete. He just swoops in and makes plays with that extraordinarily long wingspan. And I think one of the things that sets him apart, he's 18 years old. He's got a right and left-handed jump hook. He plays above the rim. I think anywhere below number 6, this guy is a steal. It's going to take him a little bit of time to figure it out, and I do think that shot needs some work. But he makes plays, and he's athletic. He runs the floor like a deer. I like the pick a lot, especially at number 8.
The boy's got skills. It's just that simple. He's loaded with skills. I like the pick from a talent perspective, but when I think about the Charlotte Bobcats, I love Brandan Wright in there. I like Raymond Felton. I'm a fan of those guys. But I still have one question mark with all the things that you pointed out and everything like that. It comes down to your willingness to spend some money, to put some guys, some veterans around these young guys to help cultivate them and let them grow. That's the question about Charlotte. We know that Brandan Wright can play. We know this. What you going to have around him, that remains to be seen. And it remains to be seen if Bob Johnson's going to spend some money.
6'10" with a 7'5" wingspan, and maybe the distinction of being the only player drafted tonight whose boss could probably take him in a one-on-one game. I'm just throwing it out there, Brandan Wright.
I don't think Jordan wants any right now.
Oh, okay. Look, one of your criticisms has been when you got to the pre-draft camp, you were only 200 pounds, and you could only bench 185 pounds twice. How do you bulk up quick enough to play next season against all that banging?
Oh, I'm going to be ready, man. This league's about competing, and, I'm going to go out there, do the best I can, and I'll definitely be ready by next year. Trust me.
Only 2 North Carolina players have ever left after 1 year. Marvin Williams was the other one a couple of years back. I know he has mentored you some. What's the best thing he's told you about coming into the league after just 1 year?
I mean, the thing he says is it's a long season. You got to take care of yourself. You got to eat right. You got to get a lot of sleep, and just it's going to be a grind.
All right. Hey, Mike, 15 North Carolina players have left school early. The average position that they've been selected in the NBA draft is right where Brandan was selected tonight, number 8.
Well, I get to Rick Bucher because we have more potential trade news. Rick?
We do. We have a proposed trade where Jason Richardson of the Golden State Warriors would go to the Charlotte Bobcats for the rights to number 8 pick Brandan Wright.
Interesting. Richardson, a key part of the Golden State move during the year and their successful run with high scoring. Stephen A.
Let me be very clear about this when I say this about the greatest player that I've ever seen in Michael Jordan. He makes that deal. That's just stupid. Don't do it. You don't need Jason Richardson. You need Brandan Wright. You're an expansion team. You're getting a little bit better, but this is not the way to go. That would be stupid in my estimation. There's no reason to do that. None whatsoever.
Mark? And how does that impact Gerald Wallace, the re-signing of Gerald Wallace?
Well, I really don't know, but what I do know is that you don't trade up big. This is a young guy that's a legit big guy that you can build your future around. Just a bad choice by the Charlotte Bobcats.
We have a trade. The Charlotte Bobcats trade the draft rights of Brandan Wright at number 8 to the Golden State Warriors for the draft rights to Jamario Davidson, number 36, and the player contract of Jason Richardson.
This trade is now official. This is not a proposed trade. Jason Richardson is a Charlotte Bobcat, along with Jamario Davidson, the player we talked about out of the SEC, who had such a tragic set of circumstances to deal with this year. And Brandan Wright, the number 8 overall selection, picked by Charlotte, now moves to Golden State. So that is an official trade announced here tonight. Meantime, let's move into Andy Katz's neck of the woods now to get updated on more of the movings around these many deals on this night, and this one with Brandan Wright to talk about this trade. Andy?
Well, thanks, Mike. Joining me now, Brandan Wright. Brandan, what were you told by either Golden State or Charlotte?
Actually, I didn't talk to either one. I just talked to my agent, and they just told me that there was a proposed trade on the table, and 99.9% it was going to happen, and it has happened.
So now that you're going to Golden State, how do you fit in with the Warriors?
I mean, I think I fit in great. They like to play the up-tempo style, try to use a lot of forwards, a lot of pieces, guys that can really run the court. And, I'm excited about this situation. Get up and down, play with a lot of good guys that can, flourish in the open court.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike, all he needs now is a Golden State hat. He doesn't have the Charlotte one anymore. Back to you, Mike.
Did you get the call from Charlotte, or were you shopping Jason Richardson around?
No, it was together. We talked about it. It happened very quickly. Another thing, the way we play, we need to rebound the ball. We need to defend the basket. We feel like Brandan Wright's going to be able to do that for us. He's as long as anything. And feel really excited about him coming into the way we play up and down the court.
Will you miss the scoring of Richardson if Baron Davis goes through a stretch where he cannot play, which happened with injury the last couple of years?
Well, I miss Jason, of course. He's one of my favorite guys, one of my favorite players. It was a hard thing to see him go, but to improve the team, you got to make tough decisions. And we feel good about Brandan coming in. That doesn't make it any easier. But like I said, when you need to improve your team, sometimes you got to make tough decisions.
Thank you, Mully. We appreciate it. Chris Mullin, of course, joining us. Golden State with the terrific story of the year as they won the first-round playoff, lost in the second round to Utah. Your thoughts on the Jason Richardson deal, Stephen A?
I think it's disgusting. Quite honestly, I think it's highway robbery on the part of the Golden State Warriors. Chris Mullin's been doing a fantastic job. He continues to do a fantastic job. I do understand that Rod Higgins has been a part of the Golden State Warriors organization, so he's extremely familiar with Jason Richardson. Yes. But the man has 4 years at $48 million guaranteed on his contract. Not the greatest ball handler in the world, very tough, can make perimeter shots, but they're treating him as if he's a franchise player, for crying out loud. It is utterly ridiculous. I don't understand why they would do something like this, and Michael Jordan wants to walk around and be forgotten about picking Kwame Brown #1 overall. This ain't that bad, but I wouldn't be surprised if in years to come we might say it's relatively close. And that's what Jason Richardson being able to play the game. He doesn't fit in this particular situation is what I'm saying, but I don't understand it.